has eased in China after authorities there took extreme measures, locking down tens of millions of citizens. Our Cynthia McFadden now on whether the same could happen here in the U.S.
This alarming video from China appears to show people being forced into quarantine. It has many Americans wondering just what could happen here. Can you envision a circumstance, worst case scenario, where the United States has to take the kind of draconian steps that China and Italy have taken?
I hope it won't come to that.
Dr. Thomas Frieden was head of the CDC under President Obama and remembers the first time he briefed him.
He asked a series of questions about H1N1, which was just emerging, and it was kind of like a fog of war reality. And he said, "This isn't going to kill 1 million people, is it, doctor?" And I answered, "No, Mr. President." But if someone asked me that today, I would say, I hope not, but it's possible.
No resource will be spared.
To help prevent that, the president today declared a national emergency, unleashing a wide range of extraordinary powers.
At that moment, special powers contained in more than 100 different provisions of law become available to him. There are powers that allow the president to shut down communication facilities, to freeze Americans' bank accounts.
Today, however, the president focused on fighting the pandemic with more money and fewer regulations. Over 3/4 of the states have already declared a state of emergency, and New York City joined them yesterday.
We're seeing intense increases in the number of cases.
The powers of the state in a public health crisis look almost like the federal government's powers during wartime. They are extraordinarily broad.
For example, in New York, the mayor can set a curfew, stop people from entering or leaving the city, shut down mass transit, and ration supplies. In addition, the police and National Guard have the power to enforce compliance with mandated quarantines and other restrictions if it comes to that.
Your right to swing your fist ends at my nose, and your right to cough up infectious bacteria or viruses does not extend to my lungs.
Whatever the legal powers, officials are counting on Americans to step up and voluntarily do what's necessary. Cynthia McFadden, NBC News.
Finally, at the end of this difficult week, Harry Smith has some perspective on the challenges we face and how we are all in this together.
For us, for we Americans, it is counterintuitive. In order to come together to fight against a spreading virus, we are being asked and encouraged to do the opposite, to pull apart for a while. Those big playoff games, long scheduled family gatherings, a lot of events that define us as community, unfortunately, are also a means to make us sick. We're not going to like it, but it's time to grin and bear it, for the sacrifice is small. The more we can do to slow the virus spread, the better it's going to be for everyone. Because if we don't, the heaviest burden will be with the first responders, with the hospitals and medical staff, with the very people we will be depending on to care for and heal our inflicted friends and family. Think of it this way, that by staying home, you could save a life. And you know, that feels pretty good. Harry Smith, NBC News.